Longview Fire Department driver Mason Beatty has been in the fire service for 8 years and with LFD for 5. He says his goal is investigation.
So definitely was my thought process. Wasn't expecting it to be this quickly. I originally was looking to start a career in law enforcement. I got into the fire service, going to police academy, running calls. That's where I found my passion for helping people.
He has a bachelor's in criminal justice from ETBU and is now a licensed police officer, a requirement to become a fire marshal. But he says working the scene of a real structure fire is an eye-opener.
We take these fire investigator classes and you're looking at pictures and books and going through, you're like, okay, I don't really understand what they're talking about. As we're looking at these houses afterwards, you begin to start seeing those patterns and understanding, okay, this is what they're talking about.
He's had hands-on investigations into 3 or 4 structure fires, although he has seen many more as a firefighter.
But now you're looking at it through a different lens, not so much of where am I seeing fire at as to compared to now, okay, where did this fire start?
Deputy Fire Marshal Marcus Delaney, who is helping train Beatty, says trainees have to be ready since
there's always time where people are off or there's other deployments or emergencies, and we need to have somebody trained and ready to fulfill that position. Keep it going 24/7.
Mason knows that as he continues his climb up the ladder. Jamie Boyum, KLTV 7 News.
And Beatty has been a certified fire investigator for about a year now, and the Longview Fire Marshal says he is qualified to investigate a fire if the need arises.